None of you are crazy, definitely. Definitely not crazy with this one. This condition will make you feel that way. When you're struggling with Eustachian tube dysfunction, it makes you feel like you've lost your mind. And I'm going to tell you, I've been one of those people that thought I was the only one struggling with this condition. I thought I was the only one that was dealing with mental health issues. I was a person that didn't have mental health issues. I had my normal stress like all of us do, the stress that comes and goes. Well, when you have this condition, it almost seems like this elephant never gets off your back. I want all of you to know, if you found my channel, you're probably struggling with mental health issues. You're probably struggling with Eustachian tube dysfunction issues, tinnitus issues, just feeling stiff in your neck and feeling overwhelmed, like your whole body, your whole immune system is just beating you up. I want all of you to know that the first step into getting over this condition, especially with the mental health side, is to know that you're not the only one dealing with the mental health issues. That is the number one step, is to not think that you're in this box by yourself. And when I was struggling with this condition myself, I was putting my own self in a box and thinking, basically putting myself in a box and just putting it, collapsing the tops down and just staying there for 3 years. It wasn't almost until the third year of itself that I started to smarten up. I started to branch out a little bit and reach out for help and get advice from other people that maybe have been going through this. Just getting overall smart about the idea of healing. Now, when you're dealing with this condition, healing seems like it's nowhere close, not even in your radius to happen for you. You kind of think, oh, I'm going to be this way for X amount of time. And it's almost like you have to trick your mind to thinking, this could be over tomorrow. When you tend to tell yourself, I can be healed tomorrow, this is all going to go away tomorrow. We use that tomorrow. It's all going to go away. You start to focus more on the present feeling. You start to feel a little bit better in the present because you know that on the other side of that mountain, just below, just over one day, you're going to be healed. And that's what we have to do. See, we don't know the tomorrow. We don't know when the healings come. So we're just completely obliterating our present state because we don't know that tomorrow is going to even be a sense of healing for us. We don't have it's like a kid that knows that Christmas is just the next morning. So you start to develop these positive hormones and these positive chemicals. The serotonin is going up. All these positive chemicals are running through your body that night because in the morning you're going to have something amazing happen. I was starting to think that this was going to go on forever. Keeping that forever mentality is going to put you in a forever state of trying to find healing. If you start to transition yourself to thinking that this is a forever crutch, you're going to always embody this forever terrible, I don't ever want to leave this house sensations, and then your body's just going to follow that. You almost have to develop this, again, that childlike mentality that just the next day from now, I'm going to feel better. Might not be healed, but I'm going to feel better. Start shooting for, I'm going to feel better. And you have to tell yourself these things. You crawl into this little ball and you're telling yourself, no, I don't think it's coming. I don't think the healing's coming. It's going to be this way for X amount of time. And then you start embellishing that. And over time, you start your body starts mimicking that you're not going to feel well. And then it gets into here. And when it gets into here, it's like setting a firework off in a small office. It's just, you don't know where it's going to go, what's going to blow up, what's going to get set on fire. You're just going to see what happens. And that's where a lot of you are right now. Some of you are in that state where you're like, and so I want to pull you out of that state. I want to pull you out of that state of unknown, the state of, I'm not sure when it's coming, so I'm just going to feel crummy until it comes. And some of you might not even be there. You might just say, I'm going to feel crummy because I know it's not coming. I know that healing is not on the other side of the mountain. It's not going to be here, and I want to pull all of you out of that giant ditch that you've inevitably crawled yourself into, to tell you that if you start training the mind to be the controller of you'll start to really feel better. And I'm telling you, it's a weird sensation. You start to almost, it's like when I like to try to throw these examples out. It's like if you first start this new class and you don't know anything about it. You don't know this topic very well. It could be trigonometry. I don't know anything. At the beginning, it feels all weird and obscured, you know, everything feels odd. But as you keep doing it consistently over time, you get hit with this overwhelming sensation of understanding. And then it's all just the pieces kind of align, not in one moment, but gradually over time. And so that's kind of how this condition works. You gradually understand what you need to do and you just do it. You know, it's like when you drive the car, no one knows that exact moment where they drove correctly, parked correctly, you know, pulled into the driveway correctly, did the 3-point turn correctly. You just gradually started doing it better. And that's how this whole thing works. You just gradually start doing it better. And all of a sudden, all the pieces line up, the planets line up, everything lines up for you. And you start to feel like, I get this now. And now that healing doesn't seem so far away. It actually seems like it could be a reality. It's a possibility of it being a reality. It doesn't feel so unforeseen. You know, it doesn't feel like imaginary to you. You start to kind of think, okay, I can do this. I can get through this. And that's how delicate mental health is because you start to think all these other thoughts. You basically think of everyone else's thoughts and other things that, other than yourself. You don't think about for yourself. You think other things, you know. You start envisioning the worst case scenario. Out of the infinite potential of the universe, we are selecting the worst case scenario. And that's what I want to tell all of you out there from a non-physician, a non-provider perspective of someone that have been in this position before. It's all a mental health struggle until you get to the finish line, until you start gaining that knowledge and that understanding. And then the planets align, the universe aligns up. And don't think that I'm just, you know, I'm saying you have to, you know, you go out there and make all this stuff happen in your head. But believe me, that's the first step. And then once the first step happens, the other stuff starts happening. You start getting consistent with a good diet. You start getting you start getting more disciplined about sleep and exercise. And it starts here though. Starts in the controller. Starts in the controller, the unit here, the CPU, and then it goes down, down, down until it goes away, until it goes so far back in your awareness that it's almost not even there anymore. And then eventually it doesn't become there anymore. So if you're in this state of mind where mental health is just making you feel destructive inside your own head, you feel like you're derailing your healing by the mental health struggles, please watch this video 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Share it with others. Watch it with others. Know that you're not by yourself. The first step is knowing that what you're going through is not some kind of you're some kind of special case that just can't get through it, can't figure out why you're going through it. Know that you're not alone, first of all, and know that it does take little baby steps before you get to that other side where the healing is just there waiting for you. But it's all about controlling the mind. I hope this video was very helpful for y'all. If it was, take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content pretty often. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jaye Wellness Studio and leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody.